This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don Mcmaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Chris Watulski from Besser Museum. Good morning and Happy New Year, Chris.
Good morning, Happy New Year. That's right, 2022.
It is, and you had a wonderful year at the museum last year in spite of everything going on in the world.
Absolutely. Like we talked about before, our summer season was great, but our winter season was awesome. The Season of Light exhibit was amazing, and we had lots of visitors from all over, and we couldn't have done it without volunteers. So if you haven't seen it, today is the last day. It closes, well, actually, we will start taking it down Monday.
Okay.
And some of the community trees have already started to come down. We had 21 nonprofits represented in our community trees gallery.
And I saw all the pictures on Facebook. There were some phenomenal trees.
It's such an honor to be able to work with them. We give them a platform, but they help us build our exhibit. And we're just so grateful for their participation and the creativity that they put into their trees and really communicating all of the different services they provide for our community all year long. So that was awesome. And then our other volunteers that have helped, of course, Lynn Medina and her mom, Marilyn. If you saw the mannequins, the Christmas trees that were the beautiful women mannequins, oh my goodness, that just blew people away. They're just like,
beautiful.
How did they do this? And then our Trees of Nations, we have lots of volunteer help. When we set the Trees of Nations, we have a group, actually many of the members from the Thunder Bay Arts Council, kind of pulled together by Michelle Miller, which is our board president. She also works down at the Thunder Bay Arts Council. And they come in and help us get the ornaments up. If we have to tweak it a little bit, they understand that if we come behind and tweak. But it's just been so awesome. And then the help that we have from volunteers taking the exhibit down.
Oh yes, that's just as much work as putting it up and not quite as much fun.
Yes, and you know, volunteers are so important. We talk about volunteers a lot, but in our artifact collection department, which is led by Sarah Honeycutt right now, she is doing a phenomenal job, and she has a group of volunteers that are so faithful. Many of them come in a couple times a week, some just once a week, and there's opportunities there. Of course, we have an application for volunteers to fill out, but just so much work that is being achieved because of volunteers that are working with her in that department. So it's really exciting for me to see.
And now your couple of other exhibits are also coming down too?
So what we're doing is the Christmas exhibit will come down, and then I have the exhibit schedule here. We are having our Winter Wonderland Non-Juried art exhibit. And so many of our artists had received this brochure in the mail. If not, they can get it online at bessermuseum.org. And this Non-Juried is open to all Michigan artists, all ages. So we have some young artists that participate in this. And this year the theme is Winter Wonderland. And it 24 inches by 24 inches is the requirement for the art piece. And it's $20 an entry fee per piece. And so drop-off is January 21st through January 31st, and the exhibit will open February 5th. So that will be held in the Traufa Gallery.
Okay.
So the other gallery is around the planetarium when you first come in, and we are featuring a local photographer, Eugene Cambry. He is living out in Presque Isle, and you might see his work on Facebook. We've had some of his work in our juried art, and we're really focusing, or asked him to bring in his astro photography. He's captured so many cool pictures of the night sky, like out around Presque Isle. So we think that would be fitting for this time of year, and of course flanking the halls of our planetarium.
Yeah, especially with our dark sky designation.
Absolutely. Jonathan, our planetarium coordinator, has done a couple dark sky events and plans to do more coming 2022. He talked to me about his schedule and some of the plans he has, which sounds phenomenal. And then, of course, the planetarium is always going, and it was so much fun for me. I actually got to run the planetarium the last couple days of right before Christmas or New Year's it was, because Jonathan was on vacation. And to hear those little kids just get so excited for Santa's Secret Star was so much fun for me to see how people truly are enjoying the museum of all ages. So,
Okay, so what
fun.
can we expect in 2022?
So 2022, again, are non-juried and local artists. We're also featuring in the middle of the year will be Steve By. So Steve has local roots here. He lives out west. He's an artist that will be exhibiting this year. And then we're going to work with Brian Shorn again and put up some new exhibits in our new fine art gallery, the Wilson Gallery. So that exhibit that's on display right now will start coming down in April. And then a whole nother collection out of the Besser Museum's permanent collection will be going up. So I met with Brian the other day, starting to discuss the pieces and the interpretation. That again, Nancy, I have just been having so much fun watching people react to this new space and how they're experiencing the art. And I can't tell you how many times people say, I feel like I'm in New York or something. This is just such a unique space and an exhibit gallery.
And I still haven't had a chance to walk on the new deck around the Catherine V.
Oh, the Catherine V and the Chinook and the deck that we got. And we just got generous support from the DNR and from the Great Lakes Fisheries Commission. And again, all volunteer work. Built this huge dock that connects the two boats, and it's just awesome. And we applied for some grants to do more exhibit development around the Chinook and the Catherine V. So a busy time out there. Our log cabin got finished last year.
Perfect.
So we should be able to open that back up to the public for our log cabin and fall harvest events this year. So yeah, it's always something.
Okay, we have about 1 minute left. So what are your hours now?
So our hours for winter, the only day we're closed is Tuesday.
Okay.
So we're closed to Tuesday on public. We're still in the office doing administrative work, but then we are open Monday 10 to 5, and then Wednesday through Saturday 10 to 5, Sunday 12 to 4. Planetarium shows are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Thank you so much, and once again, Happy New Year.
Thanks, Nancy.
I'll be right back with Don Labarre from Alpena County Library following these messages. Hi, welcome back. As promised, I'm with Don Labarre from Alpena County Library. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too.
And so I know things are exciting at the library. You finally got all moved in, and I've had an opportunity to go in the lower level. I've not been upstairs, but I do have to say I'm very impressed.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we're really proud of what's happening. There's still a couple changes coming on until we open until about February 1st for the grand opening.
Ooh, I'm excited. I can't wait for that. So tell me about your department and what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm the Special Collections Librarian for the Special Collections Department.
Okay.
And so we're upstairs, kind of in the back, and we steward both genealogical materials and resources both online and in person. And we also steward local history in our archive section, and also pretty extensive Great Lakes collections, whether they're newspaper articles, research documents, primary resources, journals, business ledgers. It's kind of as far as the eye can see kind of thing.
Well, I know you're a geek about all that stuff, so I know if people stop by, you're willing to help them find whatever they're looking for.
Absolutely.
And then what hours is the library open?
So the library currently is open from 9 to 8, Monday through Thursday. Friday, it's 9 to 6, I believe, and then Saturday, I believe it is 9 till 4. I have different hours, so I always have to remember that off the top of my head.
Okay, and like I said, I've not been upstairs, but I understand the children's section is really nice.
Yeah, we're really impressed with the children's section, how that's turned out. So yeah, if you go upstairs, there's a children's section. There's also a teen-specific space. That's really cool too, because that is a space meant for teens. You know, people can go in there and check materials out, but it's really meant to be kind of a private space that teens can go and be teens and read that level of books too.
Perfect. And I understand Nancy's going to be back.
Yes, so Nancy's going to be starting back up her class programs again starting in February, so look out for any material that we're going to be putting out on Facebook, on our website, announcing those schedules and how they approach that, both virtual and in person, hopefully.
Okay, and there'll be like computer classes and things to help you with your iPad and your Kindle and your phone and all those things that we all struggle with.
Yep, Yeah, so we're pretty excited to bring those back because that was, especially when we were closed because of COVID, that was something that was very much needed. And Nancy had to do a lot of virtual programming, which worked, but it's much easier when you do have it in person.
And I'm all excited about the books on CD. I can go in and actually pick them out. Not that I didn't use my Libby app constantly.
Oh, I love that app.
I do too. I use it all the time, and it's so exciting. And I've shared it with a lot of friends too who are using it.
Yeah.
So what else is happening at the library?
Yeah, so currently our department's just finishing up on one part of a grant that we got through the National Marine Sanctuary Foundation. So it's something that we work with that organization through Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary as a partner. And so they're funding a couple projects for us, but one of the big, I guess you could say the showpieces of one of those projects is the digitization of the Neil Swen's boat collection. Ooh. So about just under 100 separate vessel images or vessel technical drawings, and these things can be up to 108 inches long.
Wow.
And so we had some equipment that came to us from the Library of Michigan in the previous year, and so we're really excited to start getting those materials out because they're not the easiest to view for researchers. And having this online is such a special thing to be able to do. And already we've seen a huge response from our maritime researchers using it. So.
Oh, and I remember before when you folks got the grants to start digitizing and how long it took, but how wonderful it was when it was completed.
It's a huge resource, and it's always growing, both the Great Lakes side of it, and also we do have that local history side of that too. So we have one of our staff members, Marla Broad, has been handling a lot of digitization on that side. That we actually just finished up the Alpena Postcard collection, which is a series of postcards from the Alpena and Northeast Michigan area as well. That's a great resource for anybody that's hoping to learn a little bit more. They're both in color and in black and white.
That's wonderful. And with our, as you said, with our rich maritime history here in Alpena and with the maritime classes at ACC, it's so wonderful to have those resources and have them be easy to get to.
Absolutely, yeah. We have a lot of a range of researchers and amateur historians that are using these materials from classroom settings all the way up to professional research going on out there in the sanctuary.
Now, do you still have a space available for rent to the community?
In terms of like a conference room space?
Right.
Yeah, so we're currently, hopefully by the time that we open in February, that will be available.
Okay.
We do currently have study rooms. So we have 2 study rooms. You can come in and reserve them. And I think it's a 2-hour limit. And in terms of a larger conference area, we currently have some back storage in there. So once we get that cleared out, we're going to be able to have that available for rent.
Okay, and what about the magazines?
Yeah, the magazines are coming back. So
back.
yeah, so because we had to postpone a lot of the magazines because of the COVID times and being closed, we're slowly, as new publications come out, we're adding them to the rack. And we're also moving a lot of magazines that were like local history, Michigan state history, and also maritime history. Those used to always be up with us, and now we're moving those downstairs so people can actually check them out and take them home.
Okay, and now the computer lab, is that open the same, all the hours that the library is open?
Yeah, so the computer lab downstairs on the first floor, that is open the same hours as just the general library hours.
And how does that work? First come, first serve?
Yeah, it's a first come, first serve. You just come in. If you have any questions on how to access the computers yourself, the front desk staff is more than willing to help out with getting on there and up and running.
Okay, and like I said, I love the coziness of the downstairs area, all the seating places, and the day that I went there to get some books, some audio books, every seat was just about filled, and with those big windows and that gorgeous view. I mean, what a beautiful place, and it's the taxpayers' faith in our community that made all of that happen.
Yeah, and that's really the awesome part, is that this program, you know, we're just over a $3 million program, and it's the community that made this happen, and that's super important for us because we know we're doing something. You know, we're doing it right if we're able to do that, and it's amazing to see how many people have come to either do, you know, their own work, if it's a stay-at-home work, or just there to read a book or audiobook or what have you. And so those spaces, both on the first floor and that kind of like a little bit of that hub upstairs by the staircase too, that's just changing. We put some oil paintings that are really, really cool. You'll have to check it out next time you come.
I have some books to return. They called me and said, Nancy, your books are due. Okay, I'll be there. That happens. So anyway, just let people know that all the services are coming back. Most of them are back. Check the website. You have a wonderful website. It's so easy to follow and see the events that are coming up. And some things you need to register for, some you don't. So make sure you look at everything and get a chance to come in, and especially to see all the new departments and all the sections and everything, and enjoy that wonderful jewel in our community.
Absolutely, I appreciate that.
Thank you so much for being here, and tell everyone we said Happy New Year.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Don Mcmaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don Mcmaster, president of Alpena Community College, and I'm pleased to have as our guest this morning Director of Admissions at ACC, Mike Colleen, who I always think is the busiest man at ACC, and especially busy right now.
It's a busy time of year as we get ready to start the second semester, no, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. So as the Director of Admissions, you're the point person to get people enrolled.
Well, yeah, and I always like to call myself the person who helps people get started, you know, and right now there might be a lot of people out there thinking, yeah, I think I want to go to college, or I think I've been thinking about this, what do I need to do? And oftentimes they don't know what to ask or who to ask. And I just say, come on in, because trust me, we probably have heard your question before. There's someone else who's been in your situation, and we will be able to help you through the application process, financial aid, testing. But just come on in, and we'll get you started. If it's one class, if it's 2 or 3 classes, whatever suits your needs, my guess is we have something to get you started with.
I bet you've heard every question. You've been at the college for?
A little over 27 years.
27 years, so yeah. There's no new questions probably anymore.
When there is one, I tell people, you know, that's new to me, I don't know. But, you know, I'm not afraid to say that. I'm not going to tell somebody who doesn't, who something I don't know, so I'm going to, you know, get them to the right person.
Sure.
You know, I would say, like, financial aid is not my world. There's a lot of ins and outs of it. It can be complicated, sometimes intimidating for people. So we go down and see Rob Bruce, and Rob will take care of them, you know, and that's how we work. We want to make sure everyone gets the right information and, you know, get them going to be successful.
Yeah, and that's such a key point. I mean, we're a relatively small school compared to larger downstate schools, so people can talk to a human, see a face that's interested in helping them and answering their questions. And I commend you and Rob in particular for that. So what's up now? What's classes start week from Monday?
Yeah, so next week we have what we call our central registration. And really, I would say maybe it's your last chance to register for classes that start the week of the 17th. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the 11th, 12th, and 13th. You know, I'll take this a couple different ways. If you're a new student, that's your opportunity to come in, go through a new student orientation. That's about a 45-minute presentation that I do that just talks about services and policies, timelines, information to help you be successful. Then after that, we get you connected with that academic advisor who will get you registered for classes. And of course, financial aid's all involved with that as well. But the other piece is maybe you're a student who were taking classes last semester and you haven't quite yet registered.
Right.
Advisors are on campus Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week, more or less from 9 to 4 Tuesday, and like 9 to 6 Wednesday and Thursday. So come on in, send them an email. If you don't know how to get a hold of them, call us. They're all very good with their email, phones, whatever it may work for you. But you know, just reach out and we'll get reset up to make sure you don't, you know, lose a semester because maybe you didn't get it done before the holidays. We're here, get you going. Classes don't start for a bit yet, so we got time.
Yes, there's a lot in that. And you know, the advisor piece, that would be a faculty person in the area that a student is interested in pursuing?
Yeah, that's what ACC has done for years. Our full-time faculty are our academic advisors.
It's not the same at every other place.
No, a lot of times there are places that may just have 5 or 6 people that just do general advising, but they don't really have like what I call the pulse of the industry. You know, if you're going to go into welding, you're going to see Tim Rotz. He's our lead welding instructor who talks to business and industry. Or if you're going into network administration or computer science, Matt Gallarno, Rob Mills for criminal justice. And then these people are also going to be one of your instructors. And that's something I think makes ACC stand out, is that you develop that relationship, that comfort level, not only with your advisor, but your instructors. You're a person. And that really makes you sort of feel involved, take some ownership. And that's why we have a really good success rate. You know, our completion rate is usually one of the top 3 or 5 in the state in terms of all the community colleges. And it's because we do things right. I truly believe. And but come on in, and we want to make sure we take care of you as we take care of everybody else.
Yeah, and I've grown to appreciate very much over the years the information that you put into the orientations. This would be for new students who have not come to ACC before, and you kind of demystify the process or lay it out and give people resources if they get stuck or confused. And also I think you, as the face of the college for these first-time students is a very effective thing as well.
Well, I appreciate that. And really the orientation session sort of came about 4 or 5 years ago. Nancy Saya, the Dean of Students, my boss, my supervisor, her and I went over to a fellow college and sort of walked through their orientation and went, yeah, we can do this. And it works good because it really just creates more structure. And I'm able to make sure everybody hears all the same information. If it's a timeline on when tuition's due or when you drop a class or what are the library hours or where do I get a tutor, all those services that are so important, which has really worked well. And I think I've had parents who have had kids go to other schools who have sat in mine and have said, that's great. Yeah. We got all the information we needed. We know our child has what they need because we sent them away with a packet of information. Because I know they're not going to remember everything I say, but they've got a packet of information that really hasn't. So if they have to refer to it later on in the semester, they got the tools to be successful.
Yeah, that's a really important piece. Just anecdotally with the eyeball test and the research shows that connection of a first-time student with somebody. Yep. Who gives them accurate information as a real person, authentic, that they connect with, is so integral to the success of community college students.
Well, you're right, and I believe that we're problem solvers at the college. I oftentimes joke with my secretary, Sally, who does a fantastic job, that I'm solving problems. I'm getting creative to try and make it work because, there's not the same answer for everyone's situation, but, multiple ways to do the same thing right. Right. And that's what we're going to try and work with everybody because we know some people may be coming back to school because maybe they have kids at home. Maybe they've been out of school for a while. Maybe they're a little nervous or maybe they're coming right out of high school. Everybody's situation is different. Don't worry about it. Come on in because we probably have an answer.
Yeah, I think so. The viewers don't know, but part of your work, and a big part of it, something you do very effectively, along with Darren Leitner, is outreach to the K-12s. And they're a big constituent of ours. You're over at APS this morning speaking with some of the occupational faculty over there. What part of, does that part give you some enjoyment and interest?
Absolutely. It's what I enjoy is obviously getting out. In the last couple of years, some of the schools haven't allowed as much visitation and so forth. I've done a lot of virtual things, which wasn't really my cup of tea at the beginning, but I've gotten used to it. But yeah, getting out and really connecting with people, and like I say, becoming that face, like you mentioned, is important. And we've developed a lot of really strong relationships with our area high schools for both dual enrollment and early college. It just gives students the opportunity to get some college classes while still in high school. And great programming, like I said, it's a big part of our population, but those students they're dipping their toe in the water in high school. They realize they can be successful. Yeah. And college is something they can do, and ACC is a good place for them to start. And a lot of those students roll over to that after high school enrollment with us. So it's a win-win for everybody when it comes down to it.
Well, Mike, thank you for that. Your world is very complicated, but very essential. And thank you folks for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your host, Nancy Smitham and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.